yesterday kasi, we really did show how the competitors were chosen. So, since we are in Facebook Live, I'll ask Ken to accompany me here in choosing the two competitors. Okay? The first lucky candidate is number 42, Mara Ruiz, versus number 23, Shannon Manzano. Thank you, Ken. Mara, you occupy this space. Okay. I'll explain the mechanics for this morning's second round. The first one that was picked, which is candidate number 42, Mara, will choose a topic here. So, syempre, automatically, she will choose the topic or the side that she wants. Automatically, Shannon, number 23, will have to choose the other side. And then, I will give them 30 seconds each, 30 seconds both, to think or to strategize. 30 seconds lang, mahaba na yon. And then, another maximum of 2 minutes each to air or to explain their side. And then, 1 minute each for rebuttal, if they wish to have a rebuttal. Okay? Yes. Kung ayaw nyo, di wag. Okay, Mara. Attorney Mara Ruiz. Let me read the question.
To what? Read again, Marua.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. The question is, the right to health care, 100% for the poor or 50-50 for the rich and poor? The right to health care, 100% for the poor or 50-50 for the rich and the poor? 30 seconds. Jayla,
Yes po.
30 seconds.
Special mention.
Ray Santa Condong will do the timing. Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you, Ken.
Mama Ru, excuse me po. Maybe Attorney Mara can choose her side so Shannon can also think of her answer.
Okay, what's your side, Attorney Mara?
I choose 100% for the poor for healthcare.
Sorry.
I choose 100% for the poor for healthcare.
So, Shannon, your side is 50-50 for the rich and the poor.
Right for healthcare.
For healthcare. The right to healthcare. The right to healthcare. 30 seconds daw ulit.
Yes, it's free healthcare.
Right to healthcare meaning free healthcare.
Free healthcare.
Should it be 100% just for the poor or 50-50 between the rich and the poor? Okay, go Mara.
I choose 100% free healthcare for the poor. During this pandemic, COVID pandemic has shown us and taught us the great disparities between access to resources, particularly in healthcare, when it comes to the rich and the poor. And this great disparity is shown not just by those who got sick, but those who died. And we have to recognize this great disparity. And the law likewise provides that those who have less in life must have more in law. And this must be shown and this must be apparent in society, especially with something as vital and as fundamental as public health care. We need to allow our hospitals to provide medical supplies and medical access to those who cannot afford it. It's true that a lot of us are afraid to get tested, to get checked, and to get better because we are afraid of the cost. The literal, the psychological, and the physical cost. It's high time that we bring this issue to the table and demand accountability from our authorities because healthcare is a right, but healthcare is fundamental to the poor.
We have been fighting for equality in all aspects in this world since before. May it be about healthcare, I believe that there should be 50% equality about the rich and the poor. Why? Because each and every one of us, name what status you have in life, you get sick, and not all the time. You always have the capacity and the capability to produce money instantly. And that's why free healthcare should be for each and everyone. Maybe in this time of the pandemic, the rich have the advantage. But when everyone will have the access, no one will have the advantage. That's why it's equal. 50-50 will always matter. No, not because you're poor, you're only the one getting free advantage. The money of the rich people may be gone soon. But health is wealth, and we should all prioritize that the equality of the health for people should be the #1 priority of the government.
Thank you, Tyler. Now, Mara, you have 1 minute for your rebuttal.
Thank you for that, Shannon, and I appreciate it. And I completely agree. Like she said, during this pandemic, it was the rich who had the advantage. I just want to point out that she has already accepted this fact. And once again, I just want to establish that by law and by right, those who have less in life must have more in law.
But if I must say, we're not just talking about the pandemic. The question doesn't have the phrase pandemic. It's about the whole. So I must focus on that. It's the whole generation. It's the whole years. Not just the pandemic, but for a lifetime. Maybe we have more in life right now, like the president. But in the future years, won't he need free healthcare too, just like the poor? When everything is equal, everything is possible.
An opening match. Okay, I would like to call on a representative from Region Takando, Simon, to look at the votes of the judges. Again, the judges will vote secretly this time.
Okay. Exciting! Exciting!
Sige, ikaw daw, si Miss Mafi muna.
Yung kapit ni Mama.
It's Susador has to do better.
Okay. The winner of this head-to-head battle is candidate number 23. Our next battle is between
Ay!
candidate number 45, SL Ponce, and number 20, Kyle Dorado. Once again,
Excited to die.
SL. Just choose, don't open it. Your question is, Depression, a problem exclusive for the youth or a problem caused by the pandemic? Depression, a problem exclusive for the youth or a problem caused by the pandemic? Which side would you take?
A problem caused by the pandemic.
So your side is a problem exclusive for the youth. 30 seconds.
May kaba factor ka rin. Dapat tayo nagpasakura na yung sila.
Time's up. Candidate number 45.
I'd like to start with depression doesn't come with ages. It comes in different ages, and it really caused by environmental factors. As a mental health advocate and a BS psychology graduate, it has been inculcated within us that depression comes in different ages and it has no face. Definitely, it isn't just, or evidently, it isn't just exclusive with the youth. Even kids, children in ages 5 or 6 to 12 in their industry versus in priority psychosocial development could definitely experience depression. So, and of course, now with the pandemic, it has always been so evident that any one of us could experience depression because of the instability of the provision from, especially with the resources, which could definitely cause depression, anxieties, and uncertainties. This pandemic has caused so much fear and uncertainties, and uncertainties could lead to anxieties then exacerbates depression. Thank you.
Okay. I'm just gonna make sure the microphone is working well. As a millennial myself, there are 3 things that I have in mind when we talk about depression. First is that it has no face. Second is that it definitely has no gender. And third is that it doesn't have to be an environmental impact for you to be having shortcomings or struggles in life. Because as for me, who's always fighting for mental health awareness, I have also struggled myself. And as a youth, I was frowned upon because I was told by people, you are too young to be having a lot of problems. You are too young to be suffering this much. And I think that it's about time that we open our eyes, that it can happen to people from different walks of life. And definitely, that I don't think that this pandemic is only a factor that will cause us depression. I think that from people and as a youth, we struggle too. And the greatest gift that we can give to another human being is to admit that we're also struggling, because by admitting that we're also struggling, we're giving them the permission to admit the same thing. That's why I stand here for my fellow youth to become a bearer of positivity, that it doesn't have to be that an environmental factor for us to validate our feelings. Because at the end of the day, we're all gonna struggle. We're all gonna get through a lot of things and circumstances in life, and it doesn't matter if we're young.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for accepting the fact that it has no face. Second, that it comes in different walks of life. Well, definitely that means that it isn't just exclusive for the youth. Well, and saying that it comes in different walks of life, and definitely uncertainties brought by the pandemic is part of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for clarifying my points. By saying that it comes from different walks of life,
I mean that it doesn't have to be the pandemic for us to struggle. It's not a factor. Pandemic is not the only factor that can get us through these struggling times. Because as a youth, I'm also feeling these shortcomings. And even before pandemic, I have been diagnosed with anxiety disorder. So it doesn't have for the pandemic to really become a factor. Well, definitely it has took a toll on our mental health. But as a youth myself, I don't want my feelings to be invalidated just because of environmental factors that are happening.
Thank you, Kyle. So, before we proceed, I would like to thank Ben. Of course, hi to Ben. Diba? Pinakinabangan namin yung Quintessentials. Yung hair, air, and surface disinfectant spray. And of course, syempre. And before anything else, I would like to announce that thank you to House Call MD. Before we do each activity, we do swab testing. And everyone here, including the judges, tested negative. Okay? And including Reyes, nakadong. And I would like to call on Simon para maiba naman si Asista muna unahin natin.
Pareho close yung muna dalawa. Grabe, no, Lisa?
Don't cover your numbers. Taas mo na siya.
Grabe, grabe.
Okay.
Parang nagtitest? Cover your
Okay.
answers.
The winner of this battle is candidate number 20, Kyle Dorado. Our next battle is between number 22, Dindy Pajares, and
Yes.
ay, parang taga-bataan, number 1, Leia Pagay.
Go, Dindy.
Dindy, just choose a topic. Don't open it. Your question is, or your topic is, work from home, a fake virtual job, or a convenient way of earning during the pandemic. I repeat, work from home, a fake virtual job, or a convenient way of earning during the pandemic. Which side did you choose? Okay, so your side is a fake virtual job. 30 seconds. Time's up. Number 22, Dindy Pajares.
So I choose the online job to earn money because for me, as a flight attendant by profession, I also suffered during the pandemic and I wasn't able to fly. So I'm very thankful that we have a lot of online jobs where we can earn money while staying at home and taking care of our children or our siblings. And also, a lot of Filipino people take advantage of this online job so that while we are staying home, while we're also cooperating with our government to do their self-quarantine and also to stay at home, and we're being also productive, earning money and also helping our economy to get more income. Thank you.
Hello, good morning everyone. It's good that we have this work from home, especially now this pandemic. It keeps us safe, it prevents us from getting the COVID, but working in a construction company, it does not apply to every job. Like in construction, you have to be present. Like being an FA, you also have to be present. And I believe that for you to really grow and learn something in this life, you have to go out. Because you have to face the reality for you to be able to win in this life. Thank you.
But now we have a different situation. We have to consider that we have COVID-19. And for us to cooperate with our government, we really have to stay at home and to follow the protocols and to really try the new normal, which is the online and the online work from home.
Yes, it is actually a good idea for us to stay at home, but you could actually go out and go back to your job by just wearing a face shield, obeying the safety health protocols, and to get vaccinated. That's just a good thing. And we also have to look forward to the future that we could all go back to normal. Isn't it good that we could all go back to normal and go back to our jobs? It feels so good just by waking up in the morning. That feeling that you're gonna go out, you're gonna drink coffee before you go to your job, you're gonna sit in your desk, you're gonna say hi to your boss and your coworkers, and that's the best feeling ever. It might be small, but that's the thing that I look forward after this pandemic. Thank you.
I understand also dream of that moment where I can live my
Ay,
Ilan
ganun.
second rebuttal? Sorry, no more second rebuttal. Simon.
Ganado siya.
Between number 22 and number 1.
Oh my God.
Dinig ka, dinig yun. Oh my God.
Okay. Huh? The winner of this battle is candidate number 22, Lindy Taharo.
Dahil sa second year bata.
Number 9, Umbriel Pascual versus number 3, Joy
Ay,
Martinez.
ay talaga magsasound din. Ay, gandang match.
Okay, Amber will choose the topic. Alright. This is good. This is really good. Live in before marriage or marriage before living together? Which I live in before marriage. So Joy has to go with marriage before living together. Time's up. Time is up. Amber.
I grew up in a broken family. My mother and my father were separated when I was 9 years old, and that took a great toll on my mental health and on how I grew up, but it also built my character. However, growing up as well, I have witnessed my parents get into relationships and break up again, which really for me made me think about love in a different way. Love isn't the same when you're just boyfriend or girlfriend. Love is different when you're married. It's different when you start living with a person. It is not the same as just going out on dates, just going out to have fun. It's different when you have to actually have problems in terms of financial status, in terms of your housing, paying your bills. Everything's so different because that's when the fights start. So I think it is important that you know your partner before you marry them. And I think the only way that you will truly know your partner before you marry them is to live with them. So that you will know each and every characteristic, their personality when they're angry, when they're sad, or when they're happy. Because it is important not only for your relationship, but also for your future children, so that they may not go through what I went through when I was young. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Morning, judges. I could just say that we are sometimes presented with the choices that we didn't really get to choose. And for this matter, I choose to stand up for those people that believe that it is important to get married before living in. I stand up for those people because as a beauty queen, it is my duty to talk about other people's experiences, to talk about what they believe in and to fight for them also, and to be their voice. And to be that voice, I have to be the woman of action. I grew up also in a broken family. And for that, I learned lessons from my parents. First is to never jump into a relationship if you're not yet ready, because it speaks about your personality. It speaks about how you treat people, and it speaks about how you will be in a relationship. Second is that it is our greatest lesson to learn that life is not a testing water. We should jump out there, be courageous, be brave, and be ready for whatever is out there. Because that is how we learn. We learn from our mistakes, we learn from what we missed, and we learn from those experiences that have shaped us to be the better person that we are to be in the future. Third point is that I choose marriage before living in because you can live with your partner by experience. You can live with them through the experiences, through your journey, through how you talk, through the journey when traveling, to how they treat your family, because you can already see that. The person cannot really fake who they are in just in a very long time. You can truly see what a person is by the way they treat you, by the way they treat their families, and by the way they are in society. So I believe that marriage is also important before living in because we can truly assess a person without marriage.
Thank you, Joy. But from your examples, what I gathered was you are promoting risk-taking and trial and error, which I strongly am against it because, as I said a while ago, it's not just the parents or just the partners who are going to go through some heartbreak, but also their future kids, their families, and the rest of their other relationships because of the risk that they took before they got married.
What I learned as a mental health advocate is that our attitude, our personality was shaped in our childhood. That's why it is our duty as a person to build ourselves first before getting in a relationship. I am also a product of a broken family, but that is not a reason for me to be wrongful, to be someone who will be the mistake of others, because I have learned my greatest lesson, and that is to be the perfect example to my children. To know the person first, because that is the most important thing. For you to be able to see kindness, you have to look people right into their eyes. Thank you.
Thank you. Simon, let's start with okay. The winner of this battle is candidate number 3, Joy Bartoma. Ken,
Grabe. Hindi ko magkatabi.
number 38, Kathleen Payton.
Ah!
Versus
Go, Kathleen!
number 43, Daniel Krishnan. Your topic is Pasig River. Turn it into a road to ease traffic or maintain as a river of importance. I repeat, Pasig River. Turn it into a road to ease traffic or maintain as a river of importance. Oh, which is your side?
I would, Pasig.
Pasig River. Turn into a road to ease traffic or maintain as a river.
Maintain as a river of importance.
So your side is
Yeah.
turn it into a road to ease traffic.
Alright.
30 seconds. Sorry. Para ma-advertise ang bench. So, times up. So, Kathleen?
As a person who grew up in the province of Aklan, I don't actually know the geography of Manila. However, I can appreciate the landmarks of Manila, the Philippines. I know this because I was Miss Manila 2018. I know old pictures of Manila. I know Pasig River as something that was so beautiful in the past, and I know that we can get there again. We can clean up and get the government to, get people in the community to help clean our Pasig River and to open up again the river to be something as so beautiful as it was before. And it doesn't have to be something to look down upon as something dirty, because it used to be something that was so beautiful, and you can still get there and bring in tourism for the Philippines, which we so need right now in the current times that we are struggling with.
Alright. Hi, good morning. My name is Daniel Krishnan. I'm candidate number 43. And today we were given a topic, choose between Pasig River, making it into a road, or staying it as it is. Well, as a person who has been staying in Manila for so many years, I have seen how times have changed. And coming from experience, I'm actually a commuter back in college and high school, and I've seen how slowly our roads are really getting narrower each day because of the traffic or the cars that has been really getting into our space each day. And I believe that it's time for change. It's time for more infrastructures, especially in our country. We have different provinces that has different islands that we could really appreciate, but not here in Manila. Manila is very congested now, and we need more space for our cars and more transportation for our people.
I know we need more spaces for transportation. I can agree with that. However, we do have the Build Build program where more infrastructures are being made, more roads are being created, and therefore I think it's really important for us to preserve the natural landmarks of the Philippines so we can appreciate more of what we have. Isn't that what we are all about? Appreciating our culture, our upbringings, and the Philippines altogether. That's why I don't think we should create it or change it into a road, because it's really our past, and it's important for us to bring it forward into the future for our future generations to appreciate what the Philippines already is. We just need to make it more beautiful.
Alright, well, Kathleen, I know I do understand where you're coming from, but as we said, we have Build program. And I think one of the most important things that we have to do right now is to take care of our people. I know the Pasig River has been there for so many years, and we have been rehabilitating that place for so many years too. But you know, as I said a while ago, times have changed, and we have to look forward on the things that we can do for our people, and that would actually lessen the problems of our people, especially our commuters. And I believe that would definitely be road widening or doing things that would definitely be easier for our people. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 38, Kathleen, and number 43, Gainiel. Simon, let's start with JB. Okay, the judges have decided. Our winner for this battle is candidate number 43, Gainiel Percy. Our next match is between candidate number 11, Megan Campbell, versus number 41, Samela Godin. Megan, please choose your topic. Your topic is cyberbullying. You ignore or you fight back. I repeat, cyberbullying. You ignore or you fight back. What's your side?
Fight back.
So you ignore. No choice. 30 seconds. Sorry.
Promoted talaga yung spray.
Time's up. Megan.
In today's generation, it is very convenient for somebody to be faceless and to go on the internet and to speak hate speech, to point fingers, and it's sad and it's hurtful, and I'm sure that we've all experienced it. So I agree to fight back, but I do believe that there are numerous ways that you can fight back. One that is not of violence, of hate, but fight back with love, fight back with kindness, fight back by saying, hey, this is not okay, and fight back for your fellow friends and the people around you. We need to stand up and be vocal about what is not right, what is not ethical. And we can do that together. And as strong as one person's message and meaningful as it may be, it truly does take a community to create change.
Okay, for me, cyberbullying to be ignored. If you're a type of person who are strong enough to face everything, you will ignore everything, even in cyberbullying. If you're the type of person who only focuses on yourself and you don't matter what is happening outside, what is happening through online, you will ignore it. Because at the end of the day, you will just focus on yourself. You need to be brave because in this world, there are so many bullying, cyberbullying or even bullying outside. And you have to be strong enough to be empowered to ignore that, because if you will, if that cyberbullying can affect you, then everything will go wrong. So for me, you need to ignore and just focus on yourself.
I do agree that focusing on yourself is very important. Your own mental health is your top priority because it is your mind, it is your heart, and it is your feelings. However, we should never not validate the fact that when you ignore something, sometimes it can hurt us even greater. And it can hurt our friends, because if you turn away, what about them? Where's their voice? Ignoring is painful. So speaking up and showing love and kindness is our utmost importance, especially on social media, because you can hide behind a face, but you can't hide behind love.
Thank you, Megan. For me, there's nothing wrong in fighting back. But silence, if you remain silent, then everything is powerful. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Megan and Sanera. Let's start with Miss Mulak. Okay, congratulations to candidate number 11, Megan Hansen. Thank you, Megan. Next is candidate number 26, Joanne Flores, versus number 10, Michelle Arceo. Balik kayo, Michelle. Your topic is COVID-19 vaccines. Be choosy with the brand or get jobbed whatever is available. I repeat, COVID-19 vaccines. Be choosy with the brand or get jobbed or vaccinated with whatever is available.
Wait, get what or vaccine?
COVID-19 vaccines. Be choosy with the brand or get jobbed or vaccinated with whatever is available.
I'll be choosing to be choosy.
So you have no choice. You get jobbed with whatever is available.
Okay.
30 seconds. Time is up.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Joanne De La Torre Flores, 28, and I'm representing Laguna. So about COVID vaccine, we all know that COVID puts so much uncertainties in our life, at the same time fears and doubts. And we see vaccines as the solution for us to be able to move forward. But I do think that each and every one of us, it is our basic right as a consumer to choose what kind of vaccine we wanted to have in our body. Because at the end of the day, this is our body. We only have one body, we only have one life, so we must have the right to choose what we want to put in here. Thank you.
Not all of us were given the opportunity of being able to choose what vaccine that we had. If it's for the good of humanity, each and every person should not be choosy about what they receive. I know each brand has made careful consideration of what ingredients that they are putting and wouldn't put out a product out there if it's going to be a danger to society and if it's not going to be able to cure this disease. If we're talking about equality, no one was each product, okay, if we're talking about equality, not everyone is able to choose what vaccine that they want. And some vaccines might be better, but it's up to our goal at the end of the day if we want to make sure and eradicate this disease.
Okay. I do understand that time is pressuring us people to get vaccinated immediately as possible with whatever is in there. But will you be willing to take the risk and sacrifice your own body, your own health, for the sake of just getting a vaccine? I do think that yes, we can still protect other people by simply following the health protocols while the vaccines that we wanted to put in our body is already available.
With that, wait, I'm sorry. With that, we all want to excel in making sure that the future we can move on with it. We all want to return back to work. We all want to continue with our daily lives. And if we continue being choosy about this, we will never excel anywhere in the future. We have to keep striving forward if we want to make sure that we want to continue and pursue with our daily lives.
Okay. Thank you, Joanne and Michelle. Okay. The winner of this round or this battle is number 26, Joanne Flores. Our next match or battle is between number 14, Gwendolyn Forniol, versus number 27, Trisha Martinez. Thank you, Ken. Gwen, please choose a topic. Let me read it. Your topic is, this is a nice topic, virtual pageants, better than none, or an unfair way of choosing a winner. I repeat, virtual beauty pageants or pageants, better than none, or an unfair way of choosing a winner.
So I'm candidate number 14, Gwendolyn Forniel, and I would choose better than none.
So, Trisha, your side is, this is an unfair way of choosing a winner, a virtual pageant. 30 seconds.
So since
Wait,
this
wait, not 30 seconds. Ayaw niya mag-isip?
May charm na anting-anting.
Time's up. Gwen.
Okay, so I chose virtual pageant better than none because during this pandemic, there were so many atrocities that occurred in the society, and we had to address and combat so many issues and problems. So trying to stop pageants because of a pandemic shows that we're not able to face obstacles that we should be. We should be able to see the light in the darkness. And doing things online, using the online platform and social media, I think is a great way to showcase the beauty of beauty pageants. Because it's not just about what you will see, but how people will reflect their advocacy, the way they work, the way they communicate with others. Of course, because social media is a platform to communicate, you can communicate across the world.
So in a way, doing this online will be a great way for beauty queens, for candidates like us, especially in this world. Social media is a huge platform for us to share what really matters and the issues surrounding us. So using this live and using this platform, I think should not stop us, during the pandemic. I think it is even an opportunity for us to do this and to showcase what we are about, what version we want to showcase to the society through social media. Especially during our times, people are all using social media, and we should amplify this and make our voices heard, whether it be in reality or virtually.
Thank you, Gwen.
Hello, good morning. I'm Trisha Martinez. In this time of challenging times, I believe where resources are limited, it is unfair to hold a virtual pageant. Not everyone, not candidates, not all girls have the same equipment or have the same good qualities like camera, team. It's so hard to move this time. So I believe if one girl doesn't have access to these equipments, to these tools, then I believe it will be unfair. I believe her qualities, her beauty, her grit will not be shown as she wanted to show to the world or to the social media what she has, because she doesn't have the resources. So I therefore believe that it is unfair, and I'm just very grateful that in Miss World Philippines, we are not holding this virtually, yes, in some parts, but for the finals, there will be live judges, there will be live audience, and I think that will be fair enough because we are going to be given the same opportunities, the same exposure, and the same chance to show ourselves in a fair manner. Thank you.
So I understand Trisha's points, but for me, I don't think there is a fair and unfair way of seeing things, especially through social media. You will not just judge the beauty of a candidate, but the way she expresses her emotions, her feelings, and what is her real purpose. And I think social media is a great platform to bring us together. As a beauty candidate, as a beauty pageant candidate, our job is to empower each other. And if that's through social media, I think that is even a better challenge for girls or anyone joining beauty pageants to challenge themselves with and to really see that as an obstacle. How can they image themselves on social media? What do they want to be portrayed as? For example, my advocacy is education, and I am doing teaching online, but that doesn't stop me from anything because of the pandemic. It made me stronger, and I think with that mindset, nothing is unfair, and holding a virtual pageant is an amazing opportunity for all of us.
Well, I do agree that social media is a great platform, but I believe nothing beats seeing the girls and the beauty of these girls in person, in front of you, and in that stage where you can see all of different varieties of beauties, of characters, and personalities. Nothing beats that for me. Thank you.
Wow. That's a good match, I think. That's a good argument. Those are good arguments. Okay. The winner of this match is candidate number 14, Gwendolyn Cornor. Congratulations. Kailangan daw medyo malayo. Kasi baka mag-ground sila. Our next match is between number 18, Tatiana, Austria, and number 6, that choose your topic. Your topic is trans women joining national pageants. You approve or you disapprove?
I approve.
You disapprove.
For the sake of debate, I disapprove.
30 seconds. Time's up. Tatiana.
Good morning, judges. Good morning, girls. Growing up, I've always thought about what is the real definition of being a woman. Is it because you're biologically born as one? Do you have the body parts of a woman? But now, as an empowered one, now with open eyes, I know that you are a woman if you identify as one. And trans women, I have no idea why it's still being debated until today, but trans women, at the end of the day, will forever and always be women. Because why should we shame them? Why should we lock them in this cage, into a mold that they don't identify with, that they don't feel comfortable with, and that they will feel pressured for the rest of their lives to live out a lie of a life that they don't agree with. And so I believe that transgender women should be allowed to join national beauty pageants because we should give women the choice to do whatever they want with their lives. These women serve as an inspiration, not only to the LGBTQ community, not only to me as a youth, but to everyone in this world, that they can be whoever they want to be. They can stand for whoever they want to stand for, and they can advocate for whatever they want to advocate for, because they have the right to do so. Thank you.
I would like to liken pageants with sports. And we all know that in sports, the men and women are also separated. And it is not because of what they stand for. All people of all genders stand for one thing, and that's equality. That's a fairness to all competition. And to be able to make competition solely for women would be a fair advantage to the women and the trans women as well. We all know that biologically they have their own differences, and I do respect the trans women and their own competition. It is same as saying that women should be able to join trans women pageants as well. It would also bring disadvantages to the trans women if biologically born women would join their pageants. And I do support our LGBTQ community. Without them, I wouldn't be standing here with you today, and that I believe that it is also our time to make them shine. But let us make them shine in their own respective pageants, because that is the fair way to do so. Let's give them the honor to stand out as trans women. I am not caging them into just being trans women. I am celebrating their color. I am celebrating who they are, and we must all learn to respect that.
I would just like to point out that in the Olympics, there is biological testing for transgender women to make sure that the arena is level and fair. These transgender women are not just trans women. They are women in general, and we should treat them as such. These women are identified as women, and they should be celebrated as such. We can all celebrate together as one, and we don't have to live in separate, diverse, and segregated communities with walls of hatred and despair and segregation. We can all break down these barriers, come together hand in hand, and celebrate all our different unique opportunities in this world and conquer it one by one as women together in pageants, in the Olympics, and anywhere we want. Thank you.
I would like to thank her for the points, and thank you for bringing up that there should be testing when there is testing in Olympics. But unless we be able to really make a standard, a worldwide standard of being able to test the gender, the biological gender of a certain person, I don't think that the world is still ready to be able to produce that certain standard. And unless we are to create a standard like that, a standardized test to make it fair for everyone, I don't think that it is high time that we mix the transgender women, with the competition of the women as well. I really love the LGBTQ community, and I welcome them with all my heart. And I want to celebrate them in their own respective pageants, the way that they respect my own pageant here as a woman in this world. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, that's a very good match. Kaya tayo, si JB, mabilis naman mag-decide si JB. Okay. 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 The winner of this round, or of this match, is candidate number 6, Shaila Rivera. Ken, our next match is between candidate number 36, Tracy Maureen Perez, versus number 44, Sherilyn Ann Gonzalez. Let's wait for number 44 to come up the stage. Hi, Anne, or Shanaraid. I know, we just call her Shanaraid, pero alam naman Sherilyn siya. Okay, your topic is... Okay, social media deactivation when joining a pageant. A must or just an option? I repeat. Social media deactivation when joining a pageant. A must or just an option?
An option.
So, Sherilyn, it's a must. 30 seconds. Time's up. Number 36.
As someone who has been in the pageant scene for around 6 years now, and in my third time in the national pageant, I do accept the importance of social media deactivation when competing. It is very healthy for our mindset, for our mental health, but at the same time, it should not take away our right to choose what is best for us, whether to deactivate or whether to really continue using social media even at the day of the coronation night. Then again, I am a firm believer of having an option, having a choice, because that is a basic human right. No one should be able to take that away from us. And having that option, giving that opportunity to us, for us to communicate still with our family, our friends, even our mentors. Because at the end of the day, being in a competition, being in a beauty pageant, it's not about you being alone in this journey. It's about bringing with you every single person who has helped you in this journey. And by deactivating, that just means you are closing your doors, closing the opportunity for you to listen to them and to thank them for supporting you ever since you started in your journey. Thank you.
Well, I agree that we should be the people who's been helping us in our journey, but I also think that we can communicate with them differently. We have WhatsApp na walang masyadong comments ng mga netizens, and I also believe that prevention is better than cure. No matter how hard we tell ourselves na we shouldn't mind the haters, we shouldn't mind what they are saying to us, what they critic to us, I think we cannot stop our mental health in absorbing everything they say. It's really hard to not accept the opinions of others, no matter how strong our mental health is. Because their opinions, it does not go through this, but it affects our heart, and it affects our passion in performing. And no matter what, we tell ourselves that our mental health is strong, it affects our performance. That's why I believe it is better, and it is a must, to deactivate our social media like Facebook, that has comments, Instagram also, that has opinion of others, and Twitter, who are not screening their opinions in just commenting in everyone. Because, again, prevention is better than cure, and as early as we can stop those comments from entering our minds and our hearts, it is better to deactivate first and have alternative ways in contacting with our important loved ones. Thank you.
Well, I do agree with every single point that you have given. Deactivating doesn't mean that we already ignore what's being said to us. Because at the end of the day, we all know that there will always be bashers. There will always be that something that people will tell you. People will be against you. People will be for you. But then again, you should not take away that right from anyone. Say, if I choose not to deactivate, will you fault me for wanting to see social media, to see this as a beautiful platform for me to still communicate? Because I don't really like not having a choice. That is me. I'm a firm believer of that. I really want to still go out there, see the situations as they are. And being online on social media, I think it gives you maturity. I think it is an absolute test of how strong your fortitude is, how strong your mind is. And being in a competition, especially when you compete internationally, you have to have that strength.
Time's up.
I agree to some points of Ate Tracy that we need to have strong fortitude, but I guess experience is the best teacher. And as the recent news said, Rebecca said that it's a must to deactivate the social media. I know that we have different choices and we are different persons, but it is really important to listen to those who have experienced it already. And it is okay to take their experiences as to us so that we can prevent such things as being distracted in performing our best. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Shirley and Tracy. Shirley, ano ba? Shirley!
Ano ba? Serenade! Parang serenade. To also one judges.
It's another close fight. The winner of this match is number 36, Tracy Maureen Perez. Number 8, Emmanuel Vera, versus number 4, Cornell Lewis. Who's the last one?
Divina.
Number 32, Divina Villanueva. So, Divina automatically advances to the next round.
Grabe!
Go girls.
Ikaw.
read the question. Wow. Rapid population growth. Impose a 1 to 2 children per family rule or rely on family planning methods alone? I repeat. Rapid population growth. Impose a 1 to 2 children per family rule or rely on family planning methods alone?
I choose rely on family planning methods.
So, impose a 1 to 2 children per family rule.
30 seconds. Time's up. Emmanuel.
Good afternoon. Morning, everyone. My name is Emmanuel Ram, candidate number 8. And I believe that we need to impose, rather, to give people the option to use family planning. Much of our country, a large percentage of our population live in abject poverty. This is something that our country has been struggling with for decades. However, there are currently no provisions for reproductive health and family planning. I went to a school that was largely religious. Most of my schools were, and many schools are in this country due to being a primarily Catholic nation. And the reason that I grew up without any knowledge on sex, education, family planning, and the like is because they didn't educate us in school itself. There are many stringent guidelines in different religious educational institutions that prevent us from knowing anything about reproductive health. Furthermore, the government right now is not really making provisions to help people to learn to plan their families and the amount of children that they choose to produce. Right now, people are not even aware of how to make children. In fact, it's a very devastating fact, but this is the reality of our country. And I believe that we need to teach people, educate them on number one, sex education and on contraceptives. Our government rather, needs to provide people with contraceptives, needs to educate people on ways that we can control our population. And however, we are not to limit the people who are capable financially, mentally, and in other manners of producing rather as many children as they would like to. Who are we to put limits on people who are capable of creating families from reproducing? I believe that we do not need to impose a 1 to 2 child limit, but we simply need to educate and give people provisions for reproductive health. Thank you very much.
For me, if you have not noticed, the people who have more children are the people who are actually financially unstable. And to me, we have to impose 1 to 2 limit for each family, because I feel like we have to learn how to stop the rapid growth of our country, because we are all struggling at the moment. Not only now, but we are also going to be struggling in our future. So we must impose the 1 to 2 children limit per family, because I feel like this is the best way for us to actually, our society to grow, and for us to learn that people who are going through poverty are actually the people who have more children. And I feel like they're not thinking that they're financially unstable and they cannot provide for this family, and these children are suffering for the pain that their parents are going through, without thinking that they should have the finance to be able to support their children and their future and their life and pursuing their dreams. So I feel like if we imply and impose the 1 to 2 limit per family, I feel like everybody will have the opportunity to pursue their dreams. Not only that, but we are also going to be able to educate and actually help our future children who have a bigger future ahead if we learn how to support them financially and let them know about what's happening.
Thank you for your good points. I would like to remind you that we are both striving toward the same goal, which is controlling the rapid overpopulation and congestion of many parts in the Philippines. However, the method is what we differ on. And I believe that it is unethical to restrict families to 1 to 2 children. Education and lack thereof is what causes most of the problems in this country. And if we just educate the people with proper reproductive health, then they will be able to prevent. If we provide them with contraceptives, which will control the population, in fact, it will achieve the goal that you and I are striving toward. Contraceptives, education,
These are the things that we need to control our population, not rigid guidelines or the definition of what a family can or cannot do, especially if they are capable. Thank you.
He said it has to be financially, but now we all know that we are all struggling in poverty at the moment. Not everyone is capable for everything. So I feel like we always have to impose, not only for ourselves, not only for the people who are capable of actually raising more children, than the people who cannot raise children and actually allow them to live a life to the fullest. So I feel like we all have to limit to 1 to 2. And if you guys notice, the people who are very rich only have a limit, actually only have 1 child. If you notice, a lot of people who are going through poverty only actually have like what, 4 or a lot more than that. So I feel like we have to impose the 1 to 2. We always have to think not only for the better or the people who are financially stable, but also who are suffering from finances.
Okay, Simon. Let's start with babies. Please show your numbers. Okay. The winner of this match is candidate number 8, Emmanuel Vera. So, we now have the qualifiers for the next round. Can we have a take a picture of all the finalists?
Survival of the fittest.
Number 3, Joy Barcoma. Number 6, Shaila Revoltera. Number 11, Megan Campbell. Number 14, Gwen Forniol. Number 20, Cal Dorado. Number 22, Dindy Pajares. Number 23, Shannon Manzano. Number 32, Divino Villanueva. Number 36, Tracy Morin Perez. And number 43, Daniel Christian. So we will have 12 finalists for the next round. For round 3.
Alright, wait. Okay, wait. 1, 2, 3. Ay, laki naman. Sino? Hindi ko nakikita. Ay, teka muna. Si Sandro Marcos. Kakaloka. Gagaling nyo!